Portimao is officially coming back to the F1 calendar from 2027 for 2 years. And if you forgot how much of an epic roller coaster this circuit is, with tyre wear being a major factor as well, I think this is going to be a welcomed addition back to the F1 calendar. We had a lot of fun with Portimao when it used to be in the official F1 game, and today we are testing out the 2027 F1 regulations around Portimao on Assetto Corsa. Next year, the cars are getting slightly smaller and lighter, with active aero now a thing. No more DRS. The front wing and the rear wing will move in unison automatically with the car system. With lower downforce, with about a reduction of 30% and 55% less drag, racing should be improved. But the new engine regulations, with a 50-50 split of ICE and electrical power, and things like the all-new overtake mode with a dumper battery, there's been a lot of debate about whether these regulations are actually going to be up to par. But let's find out how they race around Portimao. So first things first, let's just get ourselves familiarized with this circuit, because I'm sure there might be a couple of new F1 fans watching maybe that don't remember or haven't experienced this circuit. So the run down the crest, a rapid opening first sector before we slow it down, and this really difficult off-camber uphill blind left-hander. We've then got a DRS zone, or an active aero zone probably in real life in 2027. Then comes down a bit of an undulation, and actually this version on Assetto Corsa is a lot more banked than the F1 version we had on F1 2021. So I'm actually liking it quite a lot. Very bumpy, and in these new set of regulations, these cars aren't as planted as the previous generation, but this is the true roller coaster part of the track as we go up and down, back down again. We've got this double blind right-hander where the rear end steps out, and especially in this generation of F1 cars, not a given that the rear end will stick and that the front end will go where you want, as you're constantly trying to feed the nose in and hope the rear end follows, as we've got a very awkward final wind-up to the last corner where it's flat now through here, but that first bit, trying to get the car through into that section, is very difficult, especially when you've got some higher tyre wear. That's Portimao. Obviously, for those of you who are familiar, obviously it's going to be great to see it return. You know, we had a lot of happy memories. It's a really challenging circuit, as you can see there. And for those of you who are new around here, newer to Formula 1, yeah, Portimao, it came during the lockdown era of Formula 1, and it was a welcomed addition. Kind of sad to see it go in real life and the game, but very happy that it's going to be coming back for 2027 and 2028. So that was the refresher lap. Now it's time for a bit of a race around here. We're in last place. We're in the MasterCard McLaren, and let's see how we do over 5 laps. Again, like we did in the last Madrid video, just giving the AI a little bit of a head start, as they're not the best on the Assetto Corsa, but as we now go into turn 1, they'll speed up and we'll be able to race them a little bit better. And now, of course, we know, more, a better understanding of how override is going to work now, with the FIA and F1 publishing official, names and rules and stuff. So the override mode is now just called overtake mode, and we know that you can only deploy it within 1 second of the car ahead, and I assume they might delay that also by a lap or two, like they do with DRS in the last generation. So we're going to simulate that ourselves. So I'm not going to use override mode, what it is right now with this mod. It's overtake mode. I'm not going to use that until after lap 3, and when I'm within 1 second of a car. So this will level things out a little bit and give us a better look at how just the wheel-to-wheel racing might be around Portimao. And you can hopefully tell these cars are so nervous around this circuit as we try and go down the inside of Hulkenberg. He's nearly done a switchback on us. I just forget how awesome racing was around here. Like, when you had quite close performance between cars, especially in the official F1 game, the tyre wear as well was a massive factor in my team. It was so on a knife edge, but so good when you nailed it as we go for the switchback from left to right on Antonelli in the Mercedes as we get up one more position just before the second lap. It's been slow but steady progress, I would say, you know, after that first sector gaining a few positions, but now just trying to work our way through as we've now got Albon next up in the Williams. That corner every single time can catch you out because you want to take it so rapidly, but the way the entire tarmac is based and the curb as well, it can really kick out that rear, and then that blind left-hander. I mean, that is a nightmare when there's higher tyre wear. As we go down the inside of Albon, who's actually going to do quite well to try and keep it around the outside of this hairpin corner, and then leads into this middle part of the heart of Sector 2. As we go down with a double right-hander, really can catch you out there on this curb, and then you try and get on the power as early as you dare, as we then climb up. We've actually out-traction Leclerc on the left-hand side. We then drop down, commit. We're still flat here, lifting off and trying to get that second apex. The first one you're kind of missing on purpose to get the nose in. Yeah, it's just a really fun circuit. You know, there's a lot of learning to do, but once you nail it, it really is something. But there was a lot of learning for me, I've got to say. Like, I felt like I was on edge this entire race because these regulation cars, a lot less downforce. It's so different to, let's say, like F1 23, I think, was the last time, or would have done Portimao, or maybe F1 24. So, yeah, very, very different to drive these set of regulations around here compared to that. Not just the game and the handling, but the actual physics itself of the car. As we make the move on the Cadillac, lose the back end, though, and the Cadillac comes back at us. Fair play. We narrowly missed a pretty horrendous crash there, inches away from disaster. We actually did well to hold it well on Checo, and now looking for the repass here. Second time of asking, using some active aero. Still not actually used the overtake mode, or as it is in this mod, override still, but yeah, the official name is overtake. And then the boost mode is basically just usual ERS deployment that we've all known for ages on the F1 game. But we are going to bump it up into high and use a bit of that boost mode to try and help us out, as Hamilton actually, surprisingly, his AI got his nose down the inside and actually spooked me a bit. I thought he was going to actually try and come back at us a little bit. As we now gain on sight, I go for the kamikaze dive. The back end steps out. We're now neck and neck. We bang tyres a little bit. That was a little bit cheeky, I can't lie, on the Williams, but I thought I'd go for it, you know. Loved a good little dive on that right-hander back on like F1 2021, I remember. Especially as, Fernando loses the back end, not for the first time in this little kind of mini mod series we've been doing. Alonso's AI loves a little tail wag, as he had one around Monaco, wasn't it, at turn 1. We're up to P3 now, and now on this, second last lap of the race, it's all about gaining to close that gap to Russell and Verstappen. We're yet to use overtake mode, so we've got plenty of, you know, battery, 85%. So if I can get within 1 second of Russell and Verstappen, by the time we get to the last lap, I will use the overtake mode and get that big dump of electrical energy. For now, we're just getting into the groove. You know, it's my first lap really with clean air ahead of us, so we're not making moves, so we can just concentrate on getting into a rhythm of this circuit. But I've got to say, like, yeah, just every corner, just tiptoeing, ready to catch the car. But eventually, later on that lap 4, on to 5, you can see there is Russell just up the road. Verstappen right now leading the way in the Red Bull Ford, but we'll just get towards under 1 second by the time we get onto this last lap. So overtake mode will be available to us whenever we please in this mod. In reality, it will be in these defined zones. So in a weird way, I mean, it's kind of almost like, if you dumb it down, the overtake mode is kind of almost like an electronic DRS in a way, because there's still zones. You still have to wait within 1 second, but it's just done electrically because DRS is just part of active aero now, and that happens every lap. But we get Russell with ease with that overtake mode boost. We're now down to high and now gaining on Verstappen for a last sector duel. That might be pretty damn epic, because Verstappen is quite defensive here, and I just daren't send it too much because it's so easy to lose the back end. I don't want to lose it this late on into the race, as we're now nearly neck and neck as we go down and then up over the crest. Can we make that dive, that blind right-hander? We're very careful, because there you go, the rear end steps out. Verstappen remains in first first place, but we were side by side momentarily. Verstappen slow though, in through to the second last corner, to the last. We're going to go for the switchback from right to left, and again, brake early again, left to right. It's a double switchback to try and get Verstappen, and that is insane racing. It's like a lovely choreographed dance, and that is the beauty of Portimao as a circuit. Flowing corners like that where you can really gain that advantage on traction by just setting up the next corner. And hopefully we're going to get some good racing here in, well, 2027, not 2026. So one more whole year to wait until we come back to this place. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure F1 gamers, you guys will look forward to it being back in the F1 game as well. Guys, if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.